So, good morning, dear investors. I'm pleased to see you on another webinar organized by Orion Securities, who is a financial intermediary company working here in Lithuania. And in this case, we want to present you another bond investment opportunity of internet provider, smart TV service, and related IT services provider company, Consilium Optimum, working under a brand name Fastlink. And today with us, we have representatives of the company. We have Romualdas.
Good morning.
CEO and shareholder, founder of the company. And we have Denis, Deputy CEO of the company.
Hello.
From our side, it is me, Mykantas Urba, Orion Securities, Head of Corporate Finance Department, and my colleague Matas as well. As always in our webinars, we encourage you to give us questions. You can register with questions on the Q&A button section. And once we have covered all the slides we want to go through today, we will happily answer these questions. So to begin with, it should be noted that Fastlink is not a newcomer. So Consilium Optimum, Fastlink, I'll be using these two names interchangeably. The company has already issued a bond issue this May. At that time, 5 million euros were successfully raised. And this issue, first one and the second one, both are implemented under the same bond issue program. So the company has approved bond issue program in the same May, which states that up to 8 millions can be raised within 12 month period. So actually, this second 3 million bond issue is just another part finalizing the whole bond issue program. So 5 million plus 3 million after these bonds are placed, the whole issue program will be closed. How this second issue is different from the first one, apart from the size, which is smaller, the coupon rate in this time offered is 9%. It is paid out on quarterly frequency. While the coupon is lower, from one point, of course, we are operating already in decreasing interest rate environments, and since May, Euribor rate has go down. However, there is another two factors. So first one, of course, is the financial situation of the issuer, which we will cover in the upcoming slides. The company is continuously growing, increasing revenues as well as EBITDA, equity position. So the credit risk is decreasing. However, there is also a key change and key additional security. These bonds are guaranteed by Lithuanian state financial institution ILTE, which previously known as Invega, state guarantee organization. So this organization has a special program by which it is providing guarantees for bonds issued by small and medium enterprises. And under this program, half of the bonds is secured. So meaning that in case of insolvency of the issuer and then bankruptcy, the state agency under this guarantee will cover half of the nominal value, which in this specific case is 1.5 million. So given that half of the amount is, we can say, secured by a state-related entity, this we are viewing as a significant risk mitigating issue aspect. And that is why, of course, we also have annual interest rate of 9%. As in case of a first issue, this one will also be listed on alternative First North market. Well, we have a term of 6 months, but I believe it will be much quicker. Well, most likely after the festivities, New Year, we will have these bonds listed on the Nasdaq First North Stock Exchange. Moving on towards other parameters of the whole issue. As in other cases, we are presenting to the whole Baltic investment community. This is a public issue, meaning that investment is not limited. It could be as low as one bond, so meaning 1,000 euros up to the whole issue of 3 million euros. Any investor having an investment services agreement signed with participant of Baltic Nasdaq Stock Exchange. So I guess in case of Estonia, it's all the banks, LHV, in Latvia, Signet, SEB, Swedbank. If you have an agreement with such financial intermediary investment agreement, you can participate in issue by simply submitting an order. In most cases, the banks have implemented under the investor sub-page possibility to do it yourself without any need to call or send paper-based documents. One point regarding the maturity, as in most cases here in the Baltics, 3-year maturity, it's quite common. I would say most popular. Short enough still to be attractive to investors because we see quite a preference for shorter notes. However, 3 years is enough for the business to fully absorb the obtained cash flow, invest it, and generate additional result, which will be used to repay the bonds. Of course, the company has an option, early redemption call option. So the company is allowed to redeem the bonds after 1 year or 2 years from the maturity date, from the issue date, paying additional 1.5 or 0.75 early redemption premium. As to risk mitigation factors, I have mentioned, yes, state guarantee for half an amount. Also, these bonds are secured with a pledge over receivables from the contract signed with the company clients. But also, we have established several financial covenants. So one is non-payment of dividends. The company actually has not paid any dividends since the company's inception. All the amounts were reinvested to support growth. Another key covenant is debt level. We have established a net debt to EBITDA covenant stating that the financial debt cannot exceed 4 times the EBITDA profit, which is checked every half a year interval. Yeah, so short introduction about the company. Of course, we'll give a floor to the representatives of the company. But as mentioned, the company is operating as a provider of internet, mobile connectivity services, and all the related services. So as you can see, in total, we have 6 categories of services provided. So one main, I would say, chunk of services is related to the internet providing and data communication services, so meaning fiber optic internet, mobile connectivity, 5G, 4G internet, which the company is doing under the partnership with other cell operators here in Lithuania. Of course, these days, any internet provision services unseparated from the content. So the company has a smart TV as well as video on demand services, quite developed app for this aspect, and all the related auxiliary, let's say, services like video surveillances and other IT IP services. The company is at the moment operating in Lithuania, and this is the target market. The target client at the moment is a private client. As you can see, 98% of clients are B2C. And I would say that this is one of the factors showing resilience, business model resilience, that the company client base is very diversified. The company has 35,000 and more clients. So there is no risk of, I don't know, losing one or 10 biggest clients, which would cause any disruptions for the company. Also, the agreements signed with the clients are long-term based. The average duration of contract is 35 months. And what's also worth noting that absolute majority of customers, 97%, renew their contracts. What are the competitive advantages? Well, it's state-of-the-art services, investment into most advanced technologies and services. So always being in front of the technological change, since the company is much smaller than the largest established players, the company can very quickly adapt and invest into upcoming technologies. So being on the edge of this technological advancement is one of the key competitive advantages. Looking at the financials, what I have already mentioned, in 3 quarters of 2024, the company has increased its revenues by more than 40%, and EBITDA profit increased by more than 60% if compared to the same period of 2024, which shows the company's ability to deliver the promise of growth. As was in case of the first bond issue, the proceeds were used to enable the company to achieve such high growth. And as we see, the growth is actually materializing with significant profitability, which also results in increasing shareholder equity, increasing capitalization, in overall showing quite strong equity position and quite strong financial resilience of the company. While net debt and EBITDA ratio on the September 30 was equal to 1.6, which is well really low. Use of proceeds, how the funds will be used, as I have already mentioned a bit, similar as in the first issue, all the amount will be used to invest into growth. So basically 70% will be used on CapEx for material base improvements, so fiber optic network expansion, increasing server capacity and IT equipment capacity. And the remaining 30% would be used for, let's call it R&D, so development of new services and well, adjusting current services, implementing process automatization, which all are targeted to enable both offer new services to the clients, as well as to be able to service larger number of clients with the same base and the same number of employees. How the amounts which were raised in May were used. So if you would look at this pie chart, actually, and add all the numbers, you would see that out of 5 million raised, 3.9 million were already invested. So still the company has around 1 million of remaining amounts to be invested, and majority of it was invested into fiber optic network expansion as well as equipment acquisition, and well, quite similar as planned today, remaining on these R&D initiatives. Collateral, a bit of notice, as I have said, the collateral in this case is receivables from the agreements signed with the clients. If you look at the chart, you would see that on October, agreements signed with clients generate around 500,000 of revenues. So if annualized, we get around 6 million euros. And the majority of it is long-term agreements. So how this collateral will be materialized, we also had a question. So in case of troubles, I would what we discussed how this would work. I guess the insolvency administrator would be appointed, who would take over the management of the company, and well, he would have to make sure that majority of proceeds coming from these agreements are diverted towards servicing the bonds. Of course, ensuring that sufficient amount is still diverted towards ensuring continuous operations of the company. And what we also discussed is the agreements are long-term, without any spending on the marketing, obtaining new clients, simply from working with the existing clients, the company would still be able to generate continuous cash flow, which could be used to service bonds. But also, once more, what's new and special about this issue is this guarantee provided by ILTE, state-established financial institutions. We checked what are the comparable agencies in other Baltic states. So in Latvia, it's Altum; in Estonia, Credex, which, as I understand, is now a bit being transferred also into state-owned agency. So as mentioned, how does this guarantee works? Well, the company applied for it, gone through the screening process, and received this guarantee, which states that in case of insolvency and bankruptcy of the issuer, well, the state would simply pay out half of the amount of investment to each investor. So in total, 1.5 million. So we are seeing this as a very, very strong credit risk mitigating measure we have in this specific bond issue. About the dates, the offering started last week, and it is spanning till next Wednesday, so 18th of December. What's worth mentioning, as in other cases, we have a time priority based allocation, meaning that once we receive all the subscriptions for the whole 3 million amount, all the subscriptions will be fully covered, and all the subscription offers received afterwards with 3 million is reached will be fully denied. So of course, we encourage investors to dive deep into information, analyze, but once the decision is taken, not wait too long, but submit these subscription orders to secure participation in this offering. So last day of placement, 18th of September. On the 19th, we will announce the allocation, and on 20th of September, the bonds will be issued, will become valid. And afterwards, each quarter, we see interest payout. And finally, at the end of 2027, we have a bond redemption date. So before giving floor to the company representatives, summary what we are seeing as key investment highlights of this offering. Firstly is, of course, business of the issuer, which is quite diversified, working in a segment which is not too cyclical. We discussed with the company that even in the times of economic downturn, actually, since the company is focusing on a low price strategy, actually they even benefit in such cases when clients look to switch to a cheaper alternative. What I mentioned is that client base is private customers, B2C. A lot of single customers with high retention rates and high contract renewability rates, which just provides that the company can forecast its revenues and have quite stable cash flows. Another issue, what mentioned, of course, it's always investing into new technologies, being able to do it because it's a small organization and they can target their expansion to most profitable areas and sectors, which is well not the case for big market players. Also favorable regulatory environment, which we'll cover in the upcoming slides. But being a smaller player in rather oligopolic market means that you are favored by the regulatory institutions, and all the framework is positive and tilted towards enabling such market players as Consilium optimum to increase by growing the market share in Lithuania. And finally, yes, strong financial position. As I mentioned, EBITDA is growing, revenues is increasing, profitability is also even improving. What's not mentioned, of course, is risk mitigation. What I mentioned, we think that this 9% offering, giving the financial position of the company as well as state guarantee by the state institution Ilta, it's really making this bond investment quite an attractive case. So that's a not short but quite long introduction from me, and now I give floor to the company to present a bit the history and key highlights.
Hello, I'm Denis Savrackij. I'm Deputy CEO of Fastlink, and I will do the review of the company. Actually, we started at 2000. That year, we started providing internet to the Lithuanian citizens, and our strategy is the moment to offer for our clients all telecommunication services from a single source. That is why we constantly expanding our service portfolio. And today we can safely say is that our service portfolio is one of the widest in the markets. Every year we introduce to our customers new products. And speaking, for example, about the last 5 years, in 2020, we were almost the first in the market who offered for the market Fastlink mobile app to watch TV. It allows customers to watch more than 85 TV channels, listen to more than 40 radio stations, and to enjoy movie library. What is more, in 2021, we started providing 4G internet services throughout the Lithuania. In 2022, we launched 5G internet, and in 2023, we introduced mobile communication services to our clients. During this year, in spring, we were the first in Lithuania to offer physical clients 10 gigabit per second fiber optic internet plan. And it is necessary to draw your attention that not a single telecommunication company in Lithuania currently offers such plan to physical customers. Also, throughout the company history, we were always open to new technologies and, let's say, technological leadership. More than once, we were the first in the Baltic countries to offer a certain technological innovation for the market. For example, in 2010, we were the first in Baltic countries to start to use unicast technology. In 2017, we were the first in Baltic states to start 4K UHD content rebroadcasting. And although it's already 7 years have passed since the start of Fastlink 4K UHD content rebroadcasting, but until now there are only a few telecommunication service providers in Lithuania who offers their customers such a high definition content. And also, it's important to mention that Fastlink service basket includes such services as IP telephony, video surveillance services, and other IT and IP solutions for physical clients and companies. So that will be all from history, and now I think we can move to our organizational structure and speak about our people. Here, it's worth to mention that we are focused on process automation and efficiency. So we hire additional colleague only in cases when we really see that we cannot do without a new colleague. And good examples of that could be our Fastlink mobile TV app, which you can download from App Store or Play Store and pay for its subscription electronically. Some time ago, we have also automated the renewal of contracts with customers, what allows us to renew a large part of contracts with customers automatically. And at the moment, more than 80% of the contracts are renewed automatically. In the future, we also plan to give all new customers the opportunity to order all Fastlink services electronically, and for existing customers to order new services within one click. Also, we now are working on artificial intelligence and plan to launch in the near future our chatbot and voice bot. All that things will help us to be more efficient and to increase our sales and to improve our customer service. It's also very important to mention that we have our own IT, sales and customer service and engineering teams. This means that all main processes of the company is managed internally, and we can ensure their quality and proper efficiency. Of course, if it is needed, we have an extensive experience of outsourcing these functions. And yes, we are quite a small team comparing with other market participants, but it allows us to be flexible and quickly react to changing market situation, market environment, which is what is extremely important nowadays if you want to successfully compete and grow by tens of percent per year, how we do at the moment, and did it for at least the last 5 years. Of course, we also understand that middle management and on the whole management is important. So we have 6 middle managers at company, two top-level managers. All managers have extensive experience in their fields and are professionals in telecommunication services. Speaking about top management, it's my colleague Vitalijus, Romualdas, Andrijauskas, who is sitting near me and me. We both graduated Vilnius University, and we have bachelor's and master's degrees. Vitalijus Romualdas in mathematics and computer science, and I in field of management and business administration. Also, Vitalijus Romualdas has more than 20 years experience in business management, in telecommunication industry and IT. And personally, I have extensive experience in banking industry, financial services, and business management. Previously, I have worked for a long time for one of the Lithuanian commercial banks. And in Fastlink, I worked for already 5 years. And I can say that already I have quite a lot of experience in telecommunication sphere as well. So that's would be all. Now we can move to our revenue distribution. As you see, we provide to our customers the following core services. It's fiber optic internet. This is one of our core services. smart television, mobile connection, 5G, 4G internet, movie library, video surveillance, access control solutions, and other IT and RP services, for example, such as hosting, IP address rental, programming, it could be network installation services. And in 2023, our sales revenue was 4.8 million euros, and in the 2024 third quarter, we were able to reach already 4.2 million euro result, and 80% of the revenues were received from the provision of internet, TV, video surveillance, and other IP services. Almost 6% from rental of equipment. It's IT equipment, client equipment, service equipment, and similar. And 14.5% from sales of equipment. Programming works, network installation, and other similar works. It's important to mention that each of our product is extremely competitive in terms of price, functionality, and customer experience. And for example, let's review some of our products. For example, fiber optic internet price of fiber optic internet starts from 6.19 per month, and the service is stable, reliable, and we can offer up to 10 gigabits internet speed to private customers, which is not offered by any other company in the market, in Lithuanian market. And this plan costs only 40 euros per month. The price of smart television starts from 3.19 per month. Our price of mobile communication services starts from 8.19 per month. So our product basket is one of the largest among the companies providing telecommunication services, and this allows us to effectively use the advantage of upsell and cross-sell. This is one of our competitive advantage, which allows us to rapidly increase sales volumes and, let's say, to be confident in our future. And of course, we plan to expand our service basket in the future as well, and to offer for customers such additional services as secure internet, access control systems, smart home solutions, and similar IT and IP services.
Maybe you could comment a bit on how you provide, for example, with 4G, 5G, and mobile services. Meaning, what's the business model? You're not operating all the towers, yeah, in Lithuania.
Yeah, we are not operating all the towers. We have partners, and with help of our partners, we provide the services to the clients.
Okay.
So now we can review information about our clients, and to start, I must say that thanks to our wide range of services, proven operational strategy, and technological leadership, today our customers portfolio is more than 35,000 customers. The compound annual growth rate of customers is almost 20%. And we plan that after attracting additional capital and making planned investments, the growth of the company customers base will increase. And in 2025, we could manage to reach 50,000 target. Our average annual value of the contract with customers during this year was 154 euros, and it's also growing year to year. Our customers are loyal, and that helps to ensure a high level of customer service. And according to the 2022 Independent Customer Service and Sales Skills Survey, which was conducted by Shopper Quality Group and published in Business News, our customer service and sales team was ranked the second among other 5 telecommunication companies in Lithuania, and we are really proud of that. And we understand that that helps us to increase our sales revenues. And due to our high quality of services, especially good pricing and good customer service, customer concludes long-term agreements with us. The average maturity of the contract is 35 months. And this number could be even higher, but according to the regulation, we cannot conclude first contract with a new client for a longer period than 24 months. And I want to pay your special attention to the average maturity of the contract, because even theoretically, if something wrong happens, on average, clients would pay us for another 35 months, what should certainly provide additional security for investors, and even, let's say, in emergency situation, the amounts receivable from contracts could be directed to servicing obligations related to bonds. And one more important thing is that despite the fact that customers conclude with us long-term contracts, we are able to raise prices for clients with 1 month notice. And we already did this operation one time, and it was quite successful. But I must admit that we are not planning to use that option because in the near future, because we want to keep our prices at an affordable level for all customer segments without exception. So next slide should be our distribution of clients. As you see, the main customers of Fastlink are located in Vilnius. This is how it happened historically, because the company started its activities and the development of fiber optic network here. The company position is strongest in Vilnius. Here we have 70% of all our customers. And speaking about all the Lithuania, 91% of customers are concentrated in 5 major regions. It's Vilnius, Kaunas, Klaipėda, Panevėžys, and Alytus. But actually, every year we strengthen our position in other Lithuanian regions as well. And main contribution for this are such Fastlink services as mobile connection, mobile application, 4G, 5G internet, which can be provided remotely. But on the other hand, it's necessary to mention that the company can provide practically of all our services remotely, and physical contact with the client is not necessary. And in the future, the development in all regions of Lithuania will be accelerated by the possibility of concluding all the contracts online. And this will even speed up the penetration of Fastlink fiber optic internet throughout Lithuania, because we have worked out the process of installing fiber optic internet by client itself. It's like we can compare like with IKEA furniture. Our development strategy, actually by doing additional investments, we plan to increase the coverage of our own fiber optic network in Vilnius to 27%. The investments made will give us a potential opportunity to grow about 3 times. I mean to serve 3 times more customers than we serve now. Part of the planned investments will be directed to the development of artificial intelligence tools and process automation. Actually, we are doing that at the moment. As I said previously, we are working on our chatbot and voice bot. Also, we want to provide for our clients the possibility to conduct the contract online, what will improve our customer service. What is more, we will implement such innovation as content and service recommendations for our customers, one-click product ordering, customer ranking, and personalization. And we will allocate part of the investment to the development of our mobile application. Actually, we develop our mobile application constantly, but we plan in the near future to update the search content capabilities and to personalize the content for customers. And of course, undoubtedly, that part of the investments will be made in increasing our service capacity and IT equipment, which is inevitable to order to rapidly expand the future and serve significantly more customers. And here you see the table from Communication Regulatory Authority, and we can say that to date our business and investment strategy is working. And it's almost 2 years ago when Fastlink was included in the report of the Communications Regulatory Authority, in which we are among the largest service providers providing service to clients via fiber optic lines. And according to this indicator, we are currently among the top 7 companies in Lithuania. But I want to note that thanks to our proven business strategy and investments, we are almost the only ones from the top 7 who have increased their market share over the past year, and Fastlink grew by 0.3%, which is truly significant growth by Lithuanian standards. And while other larger colleagues were mainly declining at the same time. And after making additional investments, I believe that our growth should accelerate even further. And as well, we will be able to compete even more successfully in the market by providing high quality services at an acceptable price. And the regulatory environment is also favorable for our growth. So we can move now to and speak a little bit about the regulatory environment in telecommunication market. At the European level, legal acts are drawn up to increase competition in the telecommunication industry, and some of the provisions have already been transferred into Lithuanian national law. However, Lithuania, let's say, is only at the beginning of the liberalization of the telecommunication market, because not all EU best practices have been implemented yet. And Communication Regulatory Authority is moving step by step, and certainly not without our help, towards, let's say, healthy competition in telecommunication market. But nevertheless, already the legal framework is designed in such a way not to allow an oligopoly or even a monopoly to form in the market. All operators are obliged not to abuse limited access to essential resources and to negotiate fairly on the provision of their services to other market participants. It's worth to mention that before that, we managed to successfully use legal framework, and thanks to it and to our investment, we expand our product basket and increase our sales. One more important thing that I want to mention, that the largest fiber optic internet provider in Lithuania is obliged by the wholesale agreement to provide access to its network to other market participants, so they can provide fiber optic internet in places they don't have the fiber optic internet network. and we were able to use that regulation successfully before and to grow our fiber optic internet clients every year. And finally, of course, we understand that the regulatory environment is a really important factor, and we pay special attention to this area. So we constantly communicate with Communication Regulatory Authority, Competition Council, other governmental and non-governmental institutions in order to make telecommunication market, let's say, more competitive, favorable for customers and liberal. And we are going to do this in the future as well.
So just maybe the practical example, as I understand, for example, this largest market player has to open their physical network, so fiber access, and you can start by being a more virtual, let's say, internet providing company by using their physical network. So that's the advantage of this framework, yeah?
Yeah, almost like that, almost like that.
Yeah, so we move on to financial information.
So looking at the financial results, as Mykantas already mentioned, the issuer managed to achieve an attractive growth in the 3 quarters of 2024 when comparing to the same period in 2023, with growing the revenue by 41% and growing the EBITDA by a large 66%. Even with this rather high growth of the company's financials, the issuer managed to maintain their profitability levels or even increase them, as in looking and in a gross profit margin that it reached 74%, which is the highest level in the company's history, and EBITDA margin that reached 55%, which is also the highest level in the history of the company. And just looking at the net profit margin, it remained at the similar level of 22%, which is obviously a really good level of the profitability. Yeah, so looking at this asset side of the balance sheet, the whole dynamics of the asset side of the balance sheet remain quite similar to the first issue. So the real estate of the company just consists of office building and the warehouse. Tangible assets consist of network infrastructure equipment, and obviously you can all see the increased cash in the company's balance sheet, which is obviously due to the first issue of the bonds in May. Yes, as mentioned before in this presentation, the company has not paid dividends historically, which obviously has helped to achieve a rather high shareholders' equity of 4.5 million. And obviously, the company's debt level has increased by the last bond emission. So together with a bank loan from one of the major banks in Lithuania, the bond issue is another source of debt financing. And even with this increased debt in the company, the debt to equity ratio has been reached to 1.5, which is obviously a rather good ratio in this case.
So yeah, coming back to the bonds, of course, before making an investment decision, we encourage all investors to review the risk factors. On this slide, we have just provided a summary of headlines, indication of type of risks the company is facing, but the full description can be read on the informational document, which is also provided publicly. Of course, talking about the risk of the issuer, what should be highlighted, of course, it is a technology company, so meaning there exists a technological risk, a need to keep up to date with the technological advancement. I would say the company is mitigating at the moment this risk by focusing on R&D, CapEx initiatives, and trying and actually succeeding in providing most advanced, quickest, for example, internet service. But of course, looking to the future, technology is changing, and then it could cause additional risk to the business model of the company. Another point, of course, what we talked, employee risk. The company depends on some of key employees, which have to have a technological background and experience. Of course, this is the reason why the company is investing into automation, so to be able, with the same employee base, to achieve higher results, kind of diversifying this employee risk. And of course, competition, as we mentioned, at the moment, all the regulation, not at the moment, I guess in general, competitiveness regulation always strive to increase the competitiveness and of the market. And since the company is one of the smaller market, gaining market share, so allowing market to become very competitive, it is favored by the current regulatory framework. But nevertheless, of course, if the network changes or these other players come back with new strategies, pricing strategies, it could also affect the business model of the company. Of course, macroeconomic risk, it's general to everyone. As I said, the company's model is quite stable and with low cyclicality. However, of course, if the market is in a downturn, maybe it would be harder to upsell with, for example, more expensive services. So it is a risk which should be taken into account. Talking about the bonds, it's nothing too special here. As mentioned, bonds will be listed, so meaning that if investor would be willing to sell the bonds before redemption, he would face a liquidity risk because, liquidity in the subsidiary in the secondary market is not guaranteed. Interest rate risk, yes. Once the interest rate fluctuates in the secondary market, the price of the bonds also changes. Of course, now we are in an environment of decreasing interest rate, given the fact that coupon is fixed. It allows to expect that at least from the pricing models, the bond price could go higher. But of course, if the environment changes, we face again the increasing interest rate economy. That could have a negative effect on the bonds. So we are coming to the end of our presentation, and to summarize before moving on to the Q&A session. Once again, key facts about the bonds: up to 3 million euros public bond issue placed in all the Baltic states. Subscription is possible through any financial intermediary or bank which is a member of Nasdaq Baltic infrastructure. Bonds are offering 9% fixed annual coupon, which is paid out in quarterly intervals. Maturity is 3 years, but as mentioned, the company has an option to redeem early after 1 or 2 years. The bonds are secured with a first rank pledge over amounts receivable from the signed contracts of customers. And what was already pointed out, additionally, this issue is guaranteed by the state financial institution ILTE, which guarantees half of the bond amount for each investor. In total, it guarantees 1.5 million out of this 3 million issue. As mentioned, additional risk mitigation covenants, no payment of dividends till the maturity of the bonds or redemption of the bonds. And also debt level will be governed by establishing covenant of maximum debt covenant equal to 4 times the EBITDA. The offering, as mentioned, is spanning from last week, and it will finish in next Wednesday. Allocation is on time priority basis. So yeah, we just encourage all the investors to analyze, make a decision. If the decision is to invest, well, yeah, then submit orders to the market participants. So yeah, thank you for this. Let's call it official part of the webinar. And now we can move towards the questions. So we have first question about the growth. Fastlink experienced impressive recent growth. Is it sustainable growth rate? When do you estimate that you will reach some kind of a ceiling in terms of growth, keeping in mind that the market is quite heavily regulated and you can't replace such players as Telia? So what you see as a ceiling for a market share, maybe how many years you will calculate you will still be growing in Urba?
No, the main reason of our growth is that we are quite small and we see a lot of places where we could grow. So another big players do not have that possibility. So we think that 5 till 10 years we could grow quite fast.
So, but do you have a target, for example, what is the desirable marketplace given the situation you would like to achieve? Now we have 2%. Is it something like 10, 15%?
No, we think we could grow till 20% as minimum.
Annually, and at least we think that this growth could continue, as Roma said, for 10 years at least. And what is our desire? Our desire is to be top 4 telecommunication company in Lithuanian market.
Also, you're now quite, let's say, concentrated in Vilnius region. Do you, I don't know, plan any focus on any other towns in Lithuania, or you still consider that Vilnius will be the main growth region?
Yes, we consider that Vilnius for some years will be the main growth region because Vilnius is the growing city. And we have a plan to grow here for maybe 4 years more as minimum.
Okay, utilizing your fiber optic network, which is most advanced in
Yes, we talk about fiber optic, about our own network, but if we talk about OTT solutions or mobile solutions like 5G, 4G internet, so we grow in all the country.
Okay. Yeah, so related question. If everything goes as planned, what revenues around approximately and EBITDA do you expect to reach in 2026, 2027? So after maybe 3 years when the redemption, just a ballpark number maybe.
I can comment maybe if everything goes well and like we planned, that we could expect to reach about 10 million turnover in 2026, and EBITDA could be about 5.5 million euros.
Okay, so it's a target numbers. What is your current strategy for gaining market share? So maybe you could comment on marketing initiatives, how you reach these clients, how you win them over from other providers.
It's actually we have three main sources of gaining customers. It's of course marketing. We do different marketing, mostly of course in internet because it's the most effective way to attract customers, and you can evaluate the results. Comparing with radio or TV advertisements, also another main source of our customers is recommendation and one time more recommendations. A lot of customers is coming to us via recommendations from our existing clients. And the third source of our customers is our partners. We cooperate with different retailers. Retailers, for example, of consumer electronics, and the biggest retailers in Lithuania, they generate leads for us. Then we call to these clients, and in such the way we get new clients.
And maybe related question, what part of the growth comes from new clients and what from the upselling? Which is the main driver of revenue growth?
The main driver for sure is new customers. But upselling is also quite good because we have new customers in our pocket.
Okay. Yeah, looking at the financials, Fastlink's operational efficiency is high. Is there any possible for further improvements for even better margins? Maybe it's too much to ask since it's already good, but maybe you could comment any operational improvements you're doing, cost cutting or maybe growing with limited resources.
Yeah, biggest potential is artificial intelligence. And the moment, as I told during a presentation, that we are at the moment developing our chatbot and voice bot, what will help us to automate customer service and even sales in middle term. But of course, as we are really cost effective, or our efficiency is quite high, there are not too much possibilities to be more effective. But of course, there is, and one of the first choices here is artificial intelligence.
And we have
automation.
Okay. Yeah, we have related questions regarding replacing employees with automation. So maybe you could comment, are you replacing employees or are you simply keeping the same employees and instead of hiring more, you're simply doing UI?
Actually, the second one. Because if you wouldn't invest in automation, our number of employees would be much higher.
Companies operating in few distinct verticals like video surveillance and TV app. Is there any plans to add new services or verticals, so auxiliary additional services not related directly to internet provision?
All the services we wanted to add will be like IP technology, internet protocol, something similar.
Okay, so it's not like new physical services like surveillance, but related to network solutions, software based.
It could be, and I think that in the middle term we will implement this. That we will start to sell for customers like consumer electronics, like computers, TVs, mobile phones, and etc. But we are not concentrated at the moment on that.
Yeah, now a question, in what financial situation would Fastlink consider early redemption of the bonds? And how likely is it? that you, for example, redeem it after, let's say, 2 years or even 1 year?
Actually, I think taking into consideration all the opportunities how we could grow in the future, and if there is A, B, and C choices, so the choice of early redemption is C and is the last one. We are not considering seriously at the moment.
Yeah, but maybe on this we could touch also on your other financing sources. You're using bank financing also in parallel. So, well, in theory, if you get a very attractive offer from the bank, it's possible that you could refinance the bonds, yeah, even if it's not a preferred option at the moment.
In theory, yes, but as I mentioned before, like it's only at the moment in theory, and we are not considering this option seriously.
Another question about CapEx. What is the maintenance CapEx level in your business? I don't know, either in absolute terms or maybe a percentage of total CapEx. How much is it to maintain?
Actually, banks always are asking that question, and honestly, it's up to 100,000. It's per year or per month? Well, per year. Yeah, it's up to 100,000, so it's quite low.
Maybe you could comment how you achieve it, because we had this discussion before. I understand if you're growing and investing into new higher capacity service, it means that you can retire previous service allocated to lower need functions. So this growth also automatically solves the maintenance, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Um, Another question about the margins. Lots of people focus on margins, which are quite impressive. What growth rate and margins do you realistically expect by the end of bond term, so after 3 years? Given that you might have already taken most attractive neighborhoods in the market, so are these best neighborhoods taken, or you still see a lot of opportunities to focus on these? As I understand, the key point is to have a concentrated client base in one neighborhood. So do you still see such possibilities, or you have to take less attractive new customers?
We see a lot of attractive possibilities yet, and we think that for 2 or 3 years it will be enough for us, and even in Vilnius, the biggest city.
But how much of it is it new customers, new houses, or how much is it simply taking from the other market players?
Good question. Maybe 50-50, but there are situations that when we enter to new region, to new house, we can take, for example, 1, 2, 3% of customers, but later on in 1, 2 or 3 years, we take more and more. Each year we take more because customers cannot change the ISP or TV operator in any time because they have terms in their contract. So when we enter to new territory, we just take quite not big customers quantities.
Okay. Yeah. Also, question about working capital. What does working capital look for business and impact on the cash balance? Do you have significant amounts locked in receivables and payables?
Actually, speaking about working capital, we don't have a lot of free cash because we always invest and invest what we have. And the second part of the question was?
Yeah, receivables. As I understand, your business model is, giving out invoices on a monthly basis. And it's mostly private customers, so you don't have like significant amounts receivable. How long is it? I guess it's around 30 days of receivables on your balance sheet on maximum, yeah?
Yeah, 30 days, maybe up to 60 days, but it's maybe important to mention that we practically almost can say that we don't have clients who are in debt.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that. And final question about regulation. Do you expect any further regulatory changes in this market? And would it be favorable or maybe not favorable for you to grow?
Reikia pasakyti, kad ES direktyvos verčia tą daryti.
Yes, we expect that regulation in the market will be more favorable, especially for the smaller market players, because as I mentioned previously, on the European legal, there are directives that encourage national institutions to make telecommunication industry more liberal, let's say.
I understand not all these EU initiatives are yet implemented
Yes.
at national level.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you very much for the answers. We thank investors for the questions and of course your attention for the last hour. So once again, the offering till the next Wednesday. If you have any additional questions, feel free to email us at Orion. We will forward it or provide you answers to make sure that you have all the information to make your decision. And once it's made, successfully participate in this bond offering. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.